We tend to think of the human brain as a sealed biological computer, quietly processing data in the dark, sterile vault of the skull, operating entirely independently from the neck down. This assumption dictates how we approach self-improvement. We go to the gym to train our muscles, but we sit perfectly still to train our minds, reading, doing crosswords, or tapping through brain training apps. While puzzles engage existing neural pathways, researchers have found that physical exertion, like a brisk walk, triggers structural changes in brain architecture that stationary activities can't replicate. These changes happen via an internal biological superhighway known as the gut-muscle-brain axis, a continuous loop of chemical communication between your organs. When you move, your physical activity acts as the trigger. It forces the body to manufacture specific molecules that travel directly to your brain and rewire its circuitry. Treating the mind and body as separate systems limits our cognitive potential. To understand how we actually learn and grow, we have to look at how human biology evolved to function as one interconnected unit. The chain reaction begins with your skeletal muscles. During a brisk walk or workout, these tissues undergo forceful contractions, repeatedly stretching and compressing under physical strain. For a long time, we viewed muscles purely as mechanical levers used to move bones. But under exertion, your muscles behave like an endocrine organ, similar to your thyroid or pancreas. Instead of hormones, these contracting muscle fibers synthesize and secrete specific proteins directly into your bloodstream. These messenger proteins are called myokines. One of the most important myokines released during exercise is a molecule known as irisin. Irisin acts as an encoded biological broadcast. As it circulates, it carries a signal to the rest of the body. The human is in active motion. Your muscles operate as a physiological broadcasting system, issuing chemical commands that influence the state of the entire body. While your muscles are pumping irisin into your blood, a secondary, simultaneous reaction is happening in your digestive tract. Physical exertion actively remodels the landscape of your gut microbiome. The stress of exercise promotes the growth of beneficial bacterial colonies. As these beneficial microbes thrive, they produce chemical byproducts called short-chain fatty acids. The most critical of these is a compound called butyrate. Butyrate serves two vital functions. First, it circulates throughout the body, suppressing immune responses and lowering the level of systemic inflammation. Second, butyrate travels up to the skull and physically fortifies the blood-brain barrier. It tightens the microscopic junctions between cells, ensuring the brain's defense system is secure. If the gut didn't lower peripheral inflammation and stabilize that barrier, the irisin signal sent by your muscles would degrade or get blocked before it ever reached its target. Because of the gut's assist, the irisin broadcast from your muscles safely passes through the fortified blood-brain barrier. Once inside, the signal navigates deep into the brain's architecture. It specifically targets the hippocampus, the region responsible for human memory and learning. The arrival of irisin triggers the hippocampus to express the master molecule, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. BDNF is the regulator of neuroplasticity. When it washes over existing neurons, it forces them to grow new branches and physically connect, creating denser communication networks. BDNF also stimulates adult neurogenesis, spawning new neurons and weaving them into the network. BDNF acts as a hardware upgrade. It provides the structural mechanism that turns the temporary spark of a thought or memory into permanent physical biology. A single 30-minute walk produces a temporary spike in BDNF, but committing to a daily movement habit forces the body to keep generating these molecules consistently. In clinical terms, this consistent generation of growth factors is called neurosustainability. Achieving it is the goal of regular physical activity. Maintaining this continuous loop, where muscle activity drives high BDNF and a healthy gut suppresses inflammation, creates a biological shield. It directly counters the mechanisms that drive neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. This biological armor prevents the hippocampus from shrinking. By preserving brain volume, it keeps cognitive function and memory retrieval sharp well into old age. The most effective way to build memory and cognitive resilience isn't found in an app. It is forged through physical exertion. To upgrade your mind, you have to move your body.